be the first perfect intro we've ever had to the show.
We did it!
And we're technically on time. Do we have Zeno Zone tonight?
Yeah, I already sent it to you.
Okay, I haven't downloaded that. We're good. What is up, everyone? Hope you had a great Christmas. Hope you had a good... Man, I'm like not even in the frame. There. I'm sorry, Zeno Zone's record's not going to have to be shown. Hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you had a good... if you're on break right now, hope that's going well. We had a good Christmas, I would say. I'm still recovering from surgery, so not always the most fun of times, but it was great to see my family. Great to see my new nephew, who's adorable. So small. Very new baby. And to kind of see our family and get to see everyone over the break or over the last few days. Exciting times for Oklahoma. Absolutely. TD, want to do the intro, please?
Yes. Hello, everybody. We are the Sooner Smiths. I am Tierney Smith.
I'm Chad Smith.
And we are here every Monday at 7 p.m. live.
Woo.
So we don't get to make errors here because it's going to be posted forever.
Boom.
No pressure. And if you are new to our show, welcome. If you are not new, like Stacy, Corrections 101, Paul Smith, Boomer 129, hello, welcome back. It's good to see everyone. If you're watching from a platform other than YouTube, you can always jump over onto the YouTube site and join the live chat. There's lots of other people here that you can chat with and connect with. You can ask us questions directly. And yeah, it's pretty fun. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like the video because you know you're going to like it. You've been here before. Our goal is usually to try to get up to about 50 likes. Might not sound like a big deal, but for us it is. We feel good when we hit that 50 mark.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to our channel. Again, if you have not, that would also mean a lot to us. You can always share the video across different platforms. Stacy's basically the most consistent here. She shares our video on X every single time. So that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
And then finally, you can also become a member of the Voice of College Football Oklahoma channel for as low as $2.99 a month. And all the proceeds go towards us and helping us create content for the channel and just getting things going. Yep. And we got to get better at saying it. It's just hard to say like, and if you want your comment to be shown, we do accept super chats, but we usually just try to show because you guys are pretty loyal to us. We'll be loyal to you, but you know, if you're feeling generous, I guess, Merry Christmas. Oh, you're right, Stacy. And Stacy also would like for me to mention to see our merch shop at vocfb.com/shop. You can go straight to the Oklahoma page and you can check out the items we have there. We have koozies and cups and t-shirts. Stacy got herself 2 Zeno Zone shirts. I personally have the Zeno Zone shirt. Chad does have a shirt underneath the hoodie that he's wearing, but we also, that also goes to us as well.
Whew. Nice. I'm also doing CLEs on the side right now, just streaming videos of them. Hopefully that's okay. It's just, one of those times. Oklahoma has some people in the portal. Where do we want to start? I guess let's just go through who has entered for Oklahoma, and then we'll get to what everyone I think wants to discuss is what should Oklahoma do in the portal? What are the pieces they should go after? Obviously, the Oklahoma breakdown, I believe Gabe and Iker did their biggest needs position-wise. I haven't been able to listen to it. Honestly, I just didn't even think about it with there not being a game.
With you.
So yeah.
It's like a bonding thing for Chad and I.
And after that, I haven't really been able to see their thoughts. I gather from previous episodes we've listened to that it's probably going to be linebacker, probably going to be wide, another running back, tight end, especially a couple of those positions. But for Oklahoma, just an update on who has entered real quick. Today, obviously, Troy Everett announced he is going to be entering the portal. Again, entering does not mean leaving. It just means seeing what options are out there. Maybe he's trying to just make sure that what he takes from Oklahoma isn't going to be too, if it is even less, it's not going to be less than what he could get somewhere else. But obviously, a team captain has played center for Oklahoma. He had the season-ending surgery after the season opener. And it was the only really real injury that happened in a practice, as opposed to last year in which every player was injured in practice and couldn't play in games. But they really were, his injury was really just a freak thing that happens. It's just so bad that it.
Or was his knee?
His knee.
Who had the bicep last year? Somebody did.
Hatchet? Yeah. Play with a torn bicep. Yep.
Yeah.
But Everett played in 8 games and started each of the last 7 at center in the last season or last year. So also Marcus Wimberly entered. He was a true freshman this past season, didn't play in any of the games. former four-star prospect, chose
Project.
Oklahoma over Arkansas, Oregon, and other teams. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through these. Javante Barnes obviously entered. I know a lot of people had weird things to say. Some were like, whatever. Some didn't really care. I thought I didn't have much issue with what he did in terms of not playing those last few games. I thought it was, look, he's not going to play in the NFL. He's going to try to utilize his abilities in a way that gets him the most money out of the portal. I can't fault someone for doing that. On top of that, he was really the only consistent player we've had the last few years. Fought through all of last year, being one of the only guys that could play in most games. So he earned some good grace with me. He finished his career with 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. Jacob Sexton, uh, man, a guy that's extremely athletic, could really do a lot of things in the offensive line. It just someone who unfortunately got bit by the injury bug and never got to see it come to fruition at Oklahoma. But would have loved to. He has the arm length, has the size, the athleticism, and if he can stay healthy, he'll be a big time get for a team out of the portal. The risk you run is just, can he stay healthy? And prayers up to him. Hopefully he can. You always want anybody to be able to live their dream out and play at the collegiate level. But Caden Helms also enters tight end. Obviously, that tight end room is looking like it's going to look vastly different next year as opposed to this year. Caden Helms is a very talented player, again, but has battled injury throughout his career. He was a four-star recruit out of high school, but had a couple of season-ending injuries in back-to-back years. Missed all of last season, missed all of 2023, played in only 5 games in 2024 and 4 games this season. Isaiah Autry-Dent also entered, wasn't a big contributor for Oklahoma, even as a young player, only played in the main game this year or last season. And would have been a good depth piece, though, and you never know if players transition or get better over the offseason and pick up production and are able to contribute. So never want to lose depth pieces, but he's going to enter the portal. Kobe McKenzie, one I think that some people were surprised about. I always love hearing the insiders say, this has been in the talked about for a while now. It's like, dude, part of your job is to say what is going on in the back rooms. Like you get paid, people pay for your paywall to get past it so they can get that. And don't
was
say,
it really, or
are you just covering CYA? I don't know. I happen to think maybe there was, maybe people were saying it, but Kobe McKenzie enters the portal. He is a bit of a surprising entry. He had been, obviously one of the core pieces for our defense starting out. Whenever he got injured, I believe it was the Ole Miss game, maybe Tennessee late. I don't know. He got injured with his groin, and then maybe it's Tennessee. Or Ole Miss. I can't recall. But that's when Owen Heineke came in, and obviously, everything it changed after his production or his performance in the games that he got to start. But he was the first player to enter the portal after we lost to Alabama, unfortunately. And it is going to be one that we'll have to find a way to replace. So, he might have lacked in some ways the athleticism you really want at a SEC level linebacker. I don't know if maybe he didn't. I'm not going to act like I'm a linebacking aficionado. I would rely on my father on that, but definitely a guy who was a big brain. Obviously, one of I say smarter, like I don't mean it as in everyone else is not, but I mean I think clearly one of the brain intelligentsia pieces for the defense. Made
therefore
everyone
making him a leader.
Yeah, a big leader. Yeah. Got everyone lined up. If you saw him in the games, you clearly saw he was the one everyone looked to make sure they were correct in whatever positions they were in. Also, Kendall Doby, former interviewee of the Voice of College Football Oklahoma by Tierney and myself, enters the portal as well. That one is a tough one for me. Would be nice to get him back, especially losing Kendall Daniels. I think he just wants to go somewhere where he's for sure going to have a starting position and get to be the main guy. Obviously, Oklahoma has Reggie Powers coming back and is going to be in the portal looking for, look, they don't grow predators on trees. And Kendall Daniels was one athletic body type, but hopefully can find something close to that and maybe get a little bit back of what you're losing with Kendall Daniels going into the NFL as well. Lastly, Jaden Gibson, not really a surprise. He just isn't with us. Brent Venables didn't really have much to say about that as even leading into the playoffs. So obviously, if you know a little bit about it, you know that there was some stuff that went on behind the scenes, and we don't have to get into it. That is the update. That is who was in the portal. Tierney, having said that, I don't know if asked you to do this already or not. What are your main? You say you have a blank check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't get to say which players, but just position wise,
Okay.
what players are you getting at what position are you fixing? Let's go top 3.
Ooh.
Or at 5, whatever's do you think?
Top 3. I think I've said in others that tight end's a big one for me, just
Yep.
because I
Yep.
haven't seen much from our tight end room in the
True.
past few years.
Sorry, that was
And
way
I
too
think you already mentioned it, and it wasn't a disrespect to Kanik, but in theory, your best tight end should not be someone who literally played the position 1 year, came from linebacker, and was undersized. And he did a fantastic job. That's not a diss on him. It's just like when you look at who is successful at tight end, when you look at a Cuevas and who's that? Koziel. Like these are people that have played the position and are just much bigger. And so that was something that I think that we were like really just we need it. Not one, and it seems like we have the ones that either can block or catch. You can't. It's like we haven't had both, and so it'd be nice to finally have a tight end that was productive with both sides of that. So that would be my number 1. Number 2, let me think. If Kip Lewis, Heineke, and Kobe are all out, I think I would maybe go for a linebacker. Just because I feel like we have enough depth on the defensive side that I can recall from the top of my head that would just be the one area that you need. And especially since those are the quarterbacks of the defense, you just would kind of need it. However, what worries me is bringing somebody in new that doesn't know Venables' system. And then they now have to become the quarterback of the defense. But you're still going to need them regardless. Now, if Kip and Heineke both can come back, obviously Kip can come back. Heineke is probably not, because NCAA sucks. I said it.
No lie.
Then I would change my opinion there a little bit. I would really like a wide receiver, like a playmaker wide receiver, not just somebody that can maybe catch it when they're open. Like I need somebody that's catching those 50-50 balls like we saw against Alabama. Like I need people that can do that. I need like the Jeremiah Smith. I like somebody that can consistently make plays where you throw it up and say, go get it. Now, could Giovanni Gibson be that guy? Maybe. Could the Jermarco Carter be that guy? Maybe. Could Keontez Lewis be that guy? Maybe. They all, I don't know about Jermarco Carter, but the other 2 suffered injuries. We'll kind of never know what they could have been. They did. That's not to say they didn't perform well, but they weren't the playmakers we were needing.
Right.
Now, they could be, but I would rather maybe go get one.
Right.
That could be. And we can talk about who's in the portal in a second.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Dang. Probably, again, most of my fixes are probably going to be, again, running back, getting another one, or getting somebody dynamic. Or I love Torrey and I love X. It's just, again, like, can they stay healthy? It's not their fault. I think they were thrown into impossible positions. I think that they were forced to play when they weren't ready physically. Not to say they weren't ready, like, talent-wise, but they were just, they're freshmen. They were supposed to be bulking for 2 years, like, when you think about it, and then get their time. But, they did perform well for us, but I still would like some more depth pieces there because of what we saw when we didn't even have a running back that could play.
Right.
So, definitely could use another one there. Or we had a running back that could play, but they just chose to not ever let him play for whatever reason. They have the reasons, just don't know what it is. I just wish I could be a fly on the wall. And then again, because of our struggles at offensive line, I think I would go offensive line.
Perfect.
Getting more depth there.
Perfect. I'm interested. Everyone put in 5 might be too much to type out. Give me your top 2 maybe positions of need or 3 real quick. And if you're on YouTube, go to the comments, type those in as well. Give us a like while you're doing that. But for me, it really starts above all with the position that I said we should have gotten last year. Oklahoma, please hire me. I will save you a lot of money. I'll do it for half price. Tight end. All I know is this year Tano Koziel did more for Houston than chopped and screwed music. What? And those that listen to rap will love that analogy. I have
no idea what that means.
Let me go through the positions. Tight end, number 1, bar none. You need 2 of them at least. We need a bruising kind of tight end that also doesn't just totally fall production in one area of the game. It'd be nice to get one that could maybe catch a pass too while also run block. And also you need a guy that just is a mismatch wherever he is on the field. You need to go find a 6'7", 255-pound kid that's shown he can produce in the pass game, that has the stats to back it up, and can also run block. Oh wait, we could have last year with Tanner Koziel, but we decided not to for like to save an extra $50,000 that we gave to Jaden Knott. I don't know why things can't just be nice, but bygones are bygones. Nagy, get me on a Zoom call. I'm happy to help you out if you need it. But no, go find it. In all seriousness, tight end certainly, and it needs to be. You're going. This is where the Cam Coleman discussion will get fun. Obviously, every team right now thinks they're getting Cam Coleman. Do I think Oklahoma ends up with him? No, but that's probably every team. It's very unlikely you get someone that highly touted in the portal when you have the kind of people going after him that we will. But there are going to be tight ends that you can get that will give you, that are obviously going to be big time producing players that have shown production. I would rather go after a guy that's done it at the college level rather than just a former big time recruit. Because once you get in the college level, like if that big time recruit panned out, he would have played the year that they're just listing his stars because he didn't get much playing time for a reason. And for me, it leads me to the next position, which is wide receiver.
Boomer129 says a corn-fed tight end.
There we go.
Absolutely. Find someone from Iowa.
Go to Iowa, and I'm talking just DM every one of them. There are no rules. That's the rule. There we go. I feel good I said that. Coach Smith, really need 2 tight ends. You're right. So for me, wide receiver comes next. Obviously, you really need to make sure you are retaining Satania. Keeping a guy like that, to me, is key because it opens up a lot of different options for you in terms of where you want to spend NIL dollars down the line. If you lose Satania, now you're not only trying to get a big time receiver, but you're going to try to replace one of your top producing receiver this year. Obviously, going to lose Burks as well, who came alive towards the end of the season. Obviously, had the touchdown against LSU and then had the touchdown against Alabama as well. Showed a spark. You wish you would have seen that earlier, but how much of that is on Mateer and not getting him the ball when he should have? Probably a somewhere in the middle kind of thing as well.
Or how much is it him not breaking tackles?
Yeah, but didn't do that well. But that besides that, you look at a guy like the Cam Colemans of the world. If Ryan Williams gets in the portal, which is rumored, there are going to be options out there, and I don't want to get into the conversation yet about the Moneyball stuff and and how I think people are misconstruing what Moneyball actually was. And trying to say and I'll get into my argument there in a minute. Next for me, I actually had linebacker. I'm assuming Heineke doesn't get in or doesn't get another year. I don't have to repeat tyranny, but I will just agree that the NCAA is. But I've explained multiple times on the show that they actually are the victims in this whole NIL thing, and I'm saying it again because I want people to be as triggered as I hope they are. They are the victims when it comes to NIL. They have no way to enforce any rule they want to. Courts have filed injunction after injunction after injunction and told them that any rule they want to put on a player is inhibiting their ability to make money, and so therefore it is deemed a violation of their right to NIL. They have no power. They have tried. They can't. If I am running the NCAA, again, every company should have a CEO of common sense. I would say, guys, why don't we not just ruin all the goodwill we have in the world? Why don't we just tell this former 1-year lacrosse player that 4 years of eligibility, obviously in varsity sports, but we're going to give you an extra one, especially when some kids, like you've pointed out, are in their 7th, 8th year of college football. Or earn some goodwill every now and then in NCAA. You don't have to always just be
or because they have no power. To me, it's almost like they're trying to use what little they have left.
Right. Yeah. and you don't need to do that. Just say we're going to give you, and here's the great thing. When you're the rulemaking body, you don't need to have a reason why you gave the exception. Just say we award you the exception or you win this appeal. You don't have to explain it.
Right.
Explain it. It's why it's nice to be at the Supreme Court of the United States. You're going to make all the rules. You really don't have to worry about stuff like that. But there are going to be guys in the portal. Last for me, I'm looking at offensive line, and then I guess my fifth would be running back probably. But offensive line specifically because you're losing a Troy Everett, you're losing Autry Dent. I would like to see us go in with Fabechi leaving as well, who was our most consistent and best offensive lineman. I would like to see us go in and get a piece that obviously won't replace him this year, but maybe would have a couple years left, has some raw talent, really would improve under Bedenbaugh, and would show the kind of skill that would really make us one of the elite offensive lines in the SEC. So again, I'm not going to get into how they coach run game or how they do any of that philosophically. I'm just saying go get a guy that is going to be sought after, obviously, but is going to be a game changer for the offensive line, or is going to be a guy at least that doesn't have a fall off for what Babetcha gave you this year. Because again, you're thinking the improvement that Mikula and that those three young offensive linemen in EPL and Foje and Fasusi had, the improvement they'll have after just getting baptized by the fire this year is going to make them, astronomically better going into next season. Just knowing what to expect. And finally, for me, running back, I'm a fan of Torrey Blaylock. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Xavier Robinson. I'm a fan of Hatton Jr., who they have coming in, who has signed. I'm not a fan of consistently waiting on true freshmen to be our best running back every year. I think it's time for Oklahoma to really get in the game and spend a bunch of money in the portal this offseason. And I know that sounds like irresponsible or irrational, but I think it comes from a place of we have seen us try to be, and again, I know Nagy has his spot, his position, his spot. That is an all-time Boomer Sooner 129 with an absolute heater. OU should start a daycare in Minnesota for extra NIL money. That's a tweet. That's a tweet. We
both saw it.
Yeah, that was awesome. Look. Yeah, that's awesome.
Not to get political. Anyways,
not to get political. It's a good joke. A good joke's a good joke. There is but we have got to get to a point where we have running backs that make you at least try to give you some fear, at least, or have some ability that make you worry about it on offense. As much as I like X-Rob, I've said it multiple times. I worry about the consistent injuries he has dealt with in the last 2 years, and specifically this year. And maybe it's one of those that once it heals up, he's fine. It'll heal back tougher than before, and all that is good. When he is so at his size, he's tackled low almost every time, and it's not going to stop. And you got to get someone that you at least believe can be there every single game. You look at Ahmad Hardy, and you look at Kewan Lacey, both obviously Doak Award finalists, but you look at those guys, they're pretty much there every game except for the bowl game with Hardy, and I'm wondering if he was on a pitch count or something similar. But we need to go out and find somebody that we think can be a game breaker. And I know Jimmy Satterfield said they tried last year with Ott. Very true. There were some with Nagy coming in so late and so close to that December portal window. There were some in the program, I'll just say, that had they had more time would have reached out to maybe, I'll just say, his former offensive coordinator who would have had some advice for them before signing a Jaden Ott. They didn't really believe they had the time to really go through that sort of back and forth, so they took the risk and, look, they put it all on black and it came up red. That happens sometimes, but you got to wipe that off and come back, and you can't really let it affect you. I mean, there's a reason why Nagy is universally respected in the NFL circles and in the NCAA recruiting circles. He knows how to find talent. For me, this goes to by the way, what do you think overall? I don't want to just soapbox the whole thing, but
no, I mean, I feel like we've pretty much agreed on all of that.
Coach Smith here says we have those in Oklahoma. If you didn't know, very true. We got North Texas is running back.
I think he's referring to the daycares.
Oh, I was right in the middle of. Oh, okay, that's funny. The daycares obviously works too.
I don't know,
but I would no. You're right. I think you're right.
Okay.
I think you're right. I was just thinking the North Texas running back that Coach Smith just cut. He was from Shawnee, Oklahoma, so I just thought he was fair enough. That was probably dumb on my part.
A Are we switching topics now?
You can. I'm gonna go back and talk about the Cam Coleman money spinning and all that. But
wait.
Talk about it. No, go whatever.
Okay, so speaking of like the North Texas running back, there was a tweet let out that said basically there's 2 SEC schools and 1 Big 12 school interested in him. Kind of makes you think Texas, Oklahoma State. Just given, location. But who knows? I mean, it could be wrong, but you would think that those could be 3 contenders for him. Of course, his coach is going to Oklahoma State.
Right.
But at the same time, if you look at the trajectory that Oklahoma State has been on the last 2 years, is that a team that you want to go play for? I don't know. And then I don't know. Him being from Oklahoma, does he have an allegiance to either school? Does he have a preference?
Yeah.
Is his family, were they that was a stutter. fans of either team. You just never know. Or, maybe he could be a Texas guy.
Yep.
You just never know. He's going to definitely be somebody that people are going to look to me. This is going to maybe sound bad, but maybe get a bargain for.
Mm-hmm.
Like a diamond in the rough type thing. Like,
Right.
obviously he was a star running back, but North Texas. You get what I'm saying? It's the level of competition. So somebody that maybe you could get for, not Jaden Ott money, but you can get a pretty good
Right.
price on. I hate saying this about kids. Like,
Yeah.
it feels wrong, but it is what it is. But definitely somebody that
Look,
would
they're
be
getting
good.
paid. I always go back to that.
Yeah, they are getting paid a lot more than most of us normie people are. But yeah, no, there's someone else says Smothers or Wisner. Question mark.
Well, yeah, do you think Dalen Smothers just had some stuff going on besides the play that a lot of the coaches just did not want. But Wisner's a good back. I don't know how much he's wanting. Apparently, you never know. It's all hearsay and just what people think on the message boards. But apparently, he wanted like $1 million, and Texas said no. They didn't think it was worth it. This, that, and the other, and so he's in the portal. I don't know where you have basically two teams that could give you more than Texas, maybe Ohio State and A&M. So I don't know where he thinks he's going to get more, but Michigan probably too. But all right, so this all starts the Cam Coleman Moneyball. Don't spend, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get the production takes that I've seen a lot on Twitter, and I think it starts with a belief that you can. That like you did in Moneyball, whenever you had Billy Bean go to the A's and instead of saying instead of just saying we're going to spend for the best players, and in terms of what the market valued at the time, they valued home runs, just RBIs, all that, instead of things like slugging percentage, on base percentage, walking average walks per at bat, things of that sort that were found to be pretty substantial in terms of leading to wins. I think people have taken that to now say that spending money on high priority targets is not what you should be doing. What you should be doing is looking for a cumulative effect where you spend less money on a certain number of targets that give you that same level of production. That works whenever those lower level, or I shouldn't say lower level, those less talented players are going to accumulate to more production than that maybe one player would that you had spent more money on. But the math in Moneyball isn't that you are wanting to just save money. It's not about just hoarding money. It's about being honest. It's about saying we don't have the X amount of dollars that the New York Yankees have. We aren't going to be able to buy our way to a championship. How do we do this intelligently? How do we do this in a way that will give us the best return on investment? That doesn't mean that if they had the chance to sign prime Barry Bonds for a good deal, they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have signed him for the most money because they couldn't compete in that way. But if Barry Bonds would have given them a discount, they would have still paid an astronomical amount of money. Now, it wasn't the same matchup and all that in years and all that. I'm just using that as an example because it's a player many people will be familiar with. On top of that, the math with Moneyball would be this. What you would have to say, what you really want to do is, if you're Jim Nagy and them, you will have to say, does Cam Coleman, and we'll use that name again, do I think it gets him? I don't know. But does Cam Coleman give you more wins than the accumulated value of of what you lose to get him? So say you only get one tight end out of the portal because you sign in only one offensive line instead of two at those positions. So you lose an offensive lineman basically and a tight end, but you get Cam Coleman. Does that move give you more wins than signing the additional tight end and the additional offensive lineman? That is the math in Moneyball. Does the return on the investment equal out to the value that you put into it? It's not to just say, hey, instead of that, we're going to go sign 3 receivers for $300,000 each for $1 million total, $333,000, I guess, for those that want to be persnickety, total. And then we're going to try to get Cam Coleman instead of just giving Cam Coleman the $1 million. Mm-hmm. The whole point of Moneyball is just to spend your money wisely. It's like this. I mean, you walk into a dealership and you see the Ferrari, right? Cam Coleman's a Ferrari. Everybody sees it. It's a great car. Shout out our boy Steve, has a bunch of them. Wonderful car. Sounds great. The engine's nice. I don't know, really, I'm not in Ferraris a lot, but whatever they have, I'm sure they're great. I know LaFerraria is an even more rare version of the Ferrari. It's great. If you can afford the Ferrari, get it. But if you're buying the Ferrari by selling your house and you're buying the Ferrari with just no insurance and you're buying it in a way that just is completely irresponsible, then that is a dumb move. If you're having to sleep in your Ferrari in order to buy it, that is a stupid move. Moneyball doesn't say you don't spend money. It's saying you don't spend money when you don't have the necessary structure to support that kind of spend. There we go. Thank you. Word of the day.
That's what I thought. I was like, that's a great word.
1982 Boomer Sooner. We're kind of going through those right now. We're talking about the Cam
and
Coleman
we did
map.
earlier, if you just now joined us, we did earlier mention what our top priorities would be just position-wise. So now we're going more into who is potentially out there that we would be interested. Of course, Cam Coleman's the hottest name.
Yep.
Right now at this very moment. So that's why we're touching on it.
Yeah. And where Nagy and all them are going to be interesting is
he also has a great name.
Who?
Cam Coleman.
Yeah, that's a great name.
Some alliteration.
Come on. Alliterative names are the best. But Cam Coleman, Jim Nagy's job is not to avoid the big talent that's in the portal. His job is to find value, sequence that build, and make sure that one exciting move does not crowd out everything else.
Right. And let's not forget, Deion Burks is not going to be there. So there's money that you can get back.
True.
Right now, our tight end room is going to be decimated, essentially. So you have that money there.
True.
I'm assuming a few more of our wide receivers that didn't get any playing time are probably going to portal out.
Right.
So there's more that you could put towards it. I already think we're going to keep the good pieces of like Giovanni, Keontae, if we can keep Satanga, and then keep Jermichael Carter. I'm good at that. And then you throw what we've collectively established, and then even maybe some of Ott's money gets thrown in there.
Yep.
And to make at least a comparable and competitive bid. Now, obviously, we're not going to have the Ohio State, Michigan, Texas A&M moolah on our side.
Right.
But, I mean, I think if you're competitive and, you can have a good argument.
I think that Oklahoma needs to have the mindset of, we may not offer the most, but we'll offer enough to be in the conversation.
Right.
You have to, you can't be a team. Obviously, I don't know why things with common sense.
Oh, Keontae Lewis out of eligibility.
I thought he had one more.
I did too.
Here. Maybe let's also check that. Maybe you might be right, Duke Silver. We just may have missed that. But there are certain things that are commonsensical where it's obviously no one's saying you give him every bit of NIL money we have, but we are also saying that there is I
would just say he was a senior.
Okay. Did he play? Okay, cool. All right, yeah, Lewis is out. There's a couple people saying that. Also, all right, Keontae Lewis out.
Sorry, guys. I thought he had one more year. That's on me.
You're good.
See, I'm alive on the air. Can't make mistakes.
Boom. But that's why we have a chat. That's why these people were out, because they help us out. But no, just going back to, the Jim Nagy and what he had talked about in terms of being disciplined, and in their reviews and in their scouting of players. Discipline is just, it's not being cheap.
He says Lewis may get a medical red shirt.
medical red shirt.
See, that's where I thought, because he was hurt a lot this year that he didn't have an extra year. But I also didn't account for how many games he even played in.
Right. I'm wondering if he does, because he only played in, he played
in quite a few. I think he played more than 4. But again, you sue the NCAA, who cares? Like, they're kind of spineless. But if you try to do it the right way, like Heineke, they all of a sudden want to be big and bad. Who knows?
Yeah. Anyways, but so Nagy talks about discipline. He talks about making sure when we are scouting or grading players, we don't just fall into the stars out of high school or the big name, but we look at their ability. Do we think that translates to Oklahoma and what we're wanting to build? But discipline is not just being cheap, and I think that's where a lot of people in the Moneyball aspect get called out or get confused. Discipline is really giving yourself the option to spend big, like when that player is worth it and the roster can support it, really. And if you're in a position like OU is, where you think that the roster can support spending more on a big time receiver and not maybe getting the extra tight end or something, then you make that move if you can. Now, maybe you value the extra tight end more, and that's fair. And I'm not saying that either one is wrong necessarily, because we are severely thin at that position. But I just think, you go after a Cam Coleman, you take the meeting, you make the pitch, you be serious. And I only offer that to say this, is that make sure, you still can afford the pieces once you make that offer. I don't know where people go off saying don't even talk with them. I've seen some people say there's no point in even trying. We aren't going to get them. the chances he comes
That's the
here, it
spirit.
would, it obviously would be a big surprise to a lot of people. I do know that speaking with those who would be in the know, and again, it's not like we have sources everywhere, but we do have a couple people that are big donors to the team that will let us know things here and
You
there.
get a podcast, people are telling you stuff.
They are big fish or big game hunting in some positions. They understand that we are at a position next year where you're going to really, really lose a lot after next season. You're going to lose David Stone, Jaden Jackson, Peyton Bowen, Eli Bowen likely. You're going to lose a ton of players that are key aspects on the defense. What does that mean? It means that your offense has about an offseason to get it figured out. One way you could really help the offseason or the offense is get a ton of talent on the team. Talent makes up for a lot of mistakes. Cam Coleman on 3rd and 18 can just run 20 yards and out-jump everybody. And as much as, I want to have good scheme and good philosophy and good, running game and all of that, I also want a guy that I just know is better than anyone you have on defense.
It's players, not plays.
Players, not plays. T said it. Nick Saban said it. I am now. What's disencouraging from this conversation is that Oklahoma really needs on offense what every other team needs. So you're going to be spending a lot of money, but I think it has to come with a mindset of this is going to be an expensive year. We don't have the benefit of having a lot of just playmakers returning. Obviously, you're going to have to take care of Foje and Fasusi and EPL and Mikula, which I think you'll be able to do. You're going to have to take care of Satania to get him to come back. Obviously, on defense, you're going to have to take care of a Kip Lewis. Hopefully, he can return. But I am, if you can get a guy like that.
I haven't heard a NFL draft from Kip. Like the longer I haven't seen the graphic, like the more hopeful I get that like he's in some serious thought about returning to Oklahoma, which makes me excited because I love his energy. Like we at the games, like look at Kip, like going down the sideline, hyping everybody up, like hyping his teammates up, just like not even just a leader on the field, but off the field too with the energy. Like it's something like he has something. It seems like on this team that alone is hard to replace, but I'm hopeful.
Boomer Sooner, 1982. Boomer Sooner said 2023 Lewis played in the Buffalo Wisconsin game, so he only played in one game. He could redshirt that year with not playing significant time. Yeah, I don't know. Now it may be. I don't know how the rules work in terms of can you just take a random year you had less than 4, or do you have to do you have to what's the word I'm looking for? Declare. Do you have to declare the red shirt in the season in which you were eligible to receive it? I don't know. Again, the NCAA could do a lot to earn some grace to just say if you played less than 4 games in a year, you can retroactively redshirt or call that season the red shirt because you get 4 games. And he didn't play it, so I would think you could. I just, I would want to check out that rule before I said that you certainly could or could not. But that for me is where the Cam Coleman math kind of it's does that spend make up for or give you more wins than spending to get additional pieces at other positions. Look, Cam Coleman is, if not the best, one of the top 2 receivers in the country. I know Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State. I mean, listen, I'd probably take him too if I could, just because the size. They're both tall, but Jeremiah weighs 235, 240, where Cam is a 215, 220 guy. And Jeremiah still runs a 4.4 and 40-inch vertical. He's unbelievable. But Cam Coleman's a difference maker. He is a day one top whatever prospect. He will be a first round pick. He'd be a first round pick this year. You saw the talent whenever he was given the chance. Now, I don't know why teams do this, but Auburn had a debilitating ability to just ignore him half the game, which was great for us. But
well, we know who their quarterback was for a lot of the season.
Well,
they also had a bad offensive line. So again, not all his fault, but
that's where I don't think that you just don't be in the fight. I think that you make some serious offers. You make some offers that maybe you're even uncomfortable with a little bit, but you got to find. It's just how many times do we turn on Saturdays and we see, oh, that guy was a big name in the portal. Casey Concepcion was the number 1 receiver. Oh, look at the plays he's making. And everyone's like, well, last year we didn't want to spend a lot of money in the portal at tight end or wide receiver, so we didn't. And look what happened. Some of us were yelling for the tight end position to be filled. Some of us were saying, hey, I'm glad Jaron Koenig's a teammate and extremely athletic and a great football player and that he can make the transition, but probably not the best that our former linebackers now are also our best tight end, having played the position 1 year. Whenever there were options to have, DeCoziel or other players too. When you have a chance to get a guy who is the guy at a position, you got to make a move to get him. Doesn't mean you do get him, but you got to be a serious player in that. But that is my kind of math or overall thoughts on the Cam Coleman thing. I think that he is a player that, if Oklahoma were to get him, would be a drastic, massive addition. But Jimmy Satterfield here, turning to positions. Do we think any position coaches are going to actually be let go? I know that. Listen, a lot of people thought going into last year that would happen.
Like it would have happened already.
Someone said everything. What happened? Sorry.
I said I feel like you always hear rumors, but you just never.
Right.
You never know.
You never know. You don't know. No.
Right. I'm just saying, though, I feel like if we were going to make changes at coaching positions, we would have probably done it by now since we've lost. Like, it's technically our off season. So, I don't know. I don't know.
I thought they would get rid of some guys last year.
Also, I just want to thank Kim. She reposted the stream. Thank you, Martell Mama, for reposting. We always love that.
If y'all can, throw a retweet on there, throw a comment as well. Those help spread the video and the feed out to get more people. I am one of the. I don't know. I just don't know what they're going to do at the certain coaching positions. Joe John would be the one that you think would be let go of between any of them. DeMarco signing Hatton Jr. DeMarco's so good at recruiting is where he's really hard to just say we're going to go another direction. Because if you look at who he signs every year, he has the number 1 or a top 5 running back coming here every year. And now, does that translate? Blaylock's young. Maybe it does with Xavier Robinson. I don't know. But it seems unlikely that you're going to get a DeMarco firing. You may get Joe John. The problem is I don't know where it's missed or how it's not translating. But if you ask any player that ever played the tight end position and played at other schools, it's ubiquitous that they say Joe John's the best coach they've ever had by far. Austin Stogner, in his interview that Brandon Drum did that I listened to, said Joe John is by far his best coach, and it's not even close. That's a guy who's played in the SEC at a few different schools. I mean, that it is what it is. I mean, people can disagree with that. I'm not saying that that's correct either, because I think at some point, like, as much as we had faith in a couple of positions, tight end room just didn't pan out this year for whatever it was. Sooner Josh asks, was Ott a Murray or Nagy kid? Jim Nagy kind of found him. I only know that because I know all the push, some of the conversations that he was having with California at the time was just about how much the guy was wanting. And to be fair to Nagy, I mean, he was graded as, even after his sophomore year when he had the 1,800 or 1,500 yards and all those touchdowns, was graded as one of the best running backs, and got injured the year after. And you took a gamble on if he would pan out at Oklahoma, and that obviously didn't happen.
Also, again, like we'd already mentioned, they didn't really do due diligence with some of maybe personality, background, things like that. That maybe would have prevented them from going after him or spending what they did. But
right,
tis what it is.
It is what it is, and hopefully they will do the due diligence and kind of figure out what they need to spend this year. If I had to bet, where do I think he ends up? If not back at Auburn, because apparently he just likes Auburn, and if he does, fair enough, good for him. I'll never forget when Dorial Green Beckham was the number 1 receiver in the country and was choosing between Oklahoma and Missouri when Missouri was dog water, and he chose Missouri.
Hot dog water.
And he was number 1 receiver in the country. Nick Saban wanted him badly. Everyone did, and he chose Missouri. And
sometimes you just have
went to the Philadelphia Eagles and became tied his shoes a couple times and then left the NFL.
You say tied his shoes a couple times. Dang. I do want to go ahead and mention we have 228 eyes on the video. Now, that assuming that most of you are watching on X or Facebook, go ahead and join us over here on YouTube, because there are people in the live chat that would just love to reach out to you and make some new friends and build a community around here. And then also, it's so you can give us a like on the video. It will take you no time to push the link. Go over to the Voice of Oklahoma. Oklahoma at the Voice of College Football channel, and you'll see us on there live right now. And just give a like. We'd really, really like to get to 50. There's 230 of you watching this. So 50 of you. That's what? almost 20%.
Yeah.
Like between 20 and 25%.
Yep.
That many of you can come over, that would be great. But if not, then fine, we'll survive, but whatever.
Y'all rock
Anyways.
though for those that are liking the video. We really do
Yes,
appreciate
we
it.
really, really appreciate
And yes,
it.
we hate saying it, but it really does help. So we have to get it out there. That's really kind of the portal talk that I have thought of. Until we start seeing some actual additions, it's just going to be kind of hypotheticals and pie in the sky thoughts. It'd be awesome to see Oklahoma get the 2 best tight ends, Cam Coleman, another great running back, and see and some couple good offensive linemen, and just see how that turns out next year.
If we get that would be
mm-hmm.
long wait until it's already a long wait, but extra long wait.
And I hope people have seen, again, going back to the basics of football, we saw it kind of not hurt us in the playoff as much. And I saw some John Mateer hate in the comments. And look, I understand. The best thing and most important thing you can get, and the most vital aspect of any offensive scheme, is the run game. And John Mateer was not great, but John Mateer was also asked to do everything on our offense. You look at why Texas was good towards the end of the year. It wasn't that Arch Manning was better, even though the media will tell you that. They are lying. And they are liars for telling you so.
He did improve.
Completing a 10-yard out route consistently is something he should. Never mind.
But yes, he did improve.
He should have been doing when Joe Klatt said he was the 4th best player in college football. Okay. But anyways, no, never mind. The run game is the reason he won. Wisner, the running game, was the reason they beat A&M.
That was Wisner.
Wisner. I'm an idiot. Wisner. It's Wisner, and then if he comes here, he will be Wise, and we will call him Wisner. But no, I'm kidding. I think it is
Wisner for it.
I think it is. Dude, that's a great tag if he chooses Oklahoma. That's hilarious.
Dibs. No one steal that.
That's hilarious.
Although it doesn't really make sense because they have beat us. We're not going to talk about it.
Anyway. And true, it is what. But I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say?
Run game.
You look at why the Bucs struggled in the last few games. They can't run the ball consistently.
And
you look at any team, right? You look at any team that struggles offensively, and I can almost guarantee you they will all be bad running teams.
Which, go ahead and bring up the game with Baker and Rodney.
Oh yeah. People have hindsight when it comes to the bowl game we lost, and it comes to the Georgia upset. And I know Baker was good the first half. He was absolutely horrible the second half in overtime. The reason why we were in that game is because Rodney Anderson, I'll say it again, ran for 207 yards, 7.8 yards a carry, and 2 touchdowns. If you don't have Rodney Anderson running like that and Cody Ford and all those guys, then you're not going to be competing in that game. As much as I love Baker, and I do. It was the run game that kept us in the game. It was the run game that was the stable of that offense. You can ask Lincoln Riley. You can ask Sark, any good offensive coordinator. You look at Ole Miss this year, Keywan Lacey, Doak Award winner or Doak Award finalist. He or Hardy should have won it over Jeremiah Love. But it is what it is. Matthew Miller said, Mateer 14 touchdowns, 11 INTs. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it's too much of a. I don't want to harp on it too much, but that's assuming that everything's equal, right? I mean, if he's asked to do every single thing, then how much, and especially if you don't have a run game for anyone to worry about, how much is that him just not having the windows to throw through? How much is that the defense pretty much knowing that if John's going to throw it or do anything, it's going to be on him? Not all that's equal. Now he needs to obviously improve, and it's not like he played great.
We're not saying he
at all,
but like.
He was horrible at LSU. And that was
right. No, that was bad at LSU.
Also, I'm going to say this, and people will get mad. I don't want to. I am giving a guy who had to get hand surgery in the middle of the season. He gets a little bit of a pass from me. Call me an idiot. Call me whatever you want. People want to give Baker Mayfield every break in the book. I just ask for consistency. I think Baker's hurt right now. That's why he wasn't good. But John Mateer had a hand surgery in the middle of the season. I think that a lot of us just overlooked that and thought in two straight. I mean, it's not like the dude was just had a handful of roses every time he went out there. He also had one of the worst run games in the SEC. Anyways, he had a lot that didn't go for him. Very young
offensive line protecting him.
And on top of that, he didn't play well. He has a lot of improvement he has to do. There's neither one of us have said that John was good this year and it was all everyone. Not at all. I'm saying I think that he will be good enough to to win any game. He was good enough to beat Alabama. He's not the reason why we lost the game. We lost that game because our punter literally dropped the ball. Because he had the pick six, obviously it was bad. But we missed field goals. We also punted 30 yards. We have a good punt and we get a penalty out of it. Stuff that
our defense didn't play as they had.
Yeah, I mean, the guys. I'm just saying, I get the Mateer hate, but
X dropped a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Which again, people want to use hindsight. But we've already talked about that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Our thought is like, and our thought is, why would you go out to the portal and spend again a ton of money on a quarterback? Well, then great, now we got a quarterback, but we don't have any weapons around him to use, or heaven forbid we lose out on some of our defensive guys because they're going to cost. They're all going to want raises and have the retention.
Yeah.
So we think the talent there is good enough. We saw it against Michigan. We saw it in moments.
Yeah.
Of the Alabama game. That first touchdown, when he was shifty, he had a lot of decisive throws. That first quarter was a John Mateer that we all thought we were going to get. And unfortunately, he had that bump in the road. So I think people always make the comparison with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had basically similar stats of touchdowns, interceptions, and over. I
think it was like 15-6 or something.
I think it probably was more than that. But anyways, and then comes back and becomes one of the greatest college quarterbacks ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was insane. And I don't need Mateer to be Joe Burrow. We'll love it.
He won't be.
I'm just saying. I don't need him to be.
Yeah.
I just need him to be consistent. And need him to just, again, like we said, to have a full season where he doesn't have injuries. Granted, we're not in control of that. And neither is he. But
I mean, Jackson Dart wasn't
that
great.
comes down to the money ball thing. Like, why would we throw money at a quarterback when we definitely need other pieces that can potentially give us what we need, like another running back.
Right.
Regardless, I don't even think that's even an option. I think John Mateer is going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm like 99.98% sure.
Yeah. The only way he wouldn't be is if he wants to leave Oklahoma or wants to go to the pros, and he shouldn't do the latter or the former, really. I mean, Jackson Dart wasn't great his first year at Ole Miss. He came back and became, obviously who he became and ended up getting drafted. Believe it or not, guys, players can improve in the offseason. Players can improve after they've seen a whole season in a level of football that, was just different for him. But, and I know a lot of people are like, well, look what Ferris State did, or look what Trinidad Chambliss did. I was one of them. He also had a Doak Walker Award finalist as his running back. Do we have a guy that would, I'm not going to belittle our running backs. I can't do it. But I don't know if we have a guy right now that would be would be one of your first 20 picks at the running back position. There is a lot going on with Oklahoma. Matthew Miller said, so is Arch. Texas as a team averaged 4 yards per carry and OU 3.6. That was the main issue with both teams. They were one-dimensional. Yeah, but if you look in the games in which Texas won, like the Ole Miss game, they did not average 3.6 yards or 4 yards. Or that Texas won, they didn't average 4 yards. Look at any game in which Texas played well in, and you'll find that they actually ran the ball very well. Texas struggled against Georgia and Florida in the games they lost, but I'm not going to hold out hope that, we're going to just become a great running team in one season. But I think we can drastically improve. Way off subject. Is Sandell coming back? Asked Sooner Mac 6272. Yeah, I think he will. I believe he is.
I would hope so. I know he said in an interview he hasn't really thought about it. I know people think pros, but even then, for pros, he's a great kicker. But the pros is just another level.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't, unless we didn't want to throw money at him. I would.
Right.
Personally, I would pay him his fair share because he's the whole reason we made the play. Not the whole reason. Y'all get what I'm saying when I'm being a bit hyperbolic. But he's a big reason why we made the playoffs. So I really hope Sandell comes back. We need the short shorts, long kicks. For as many years as we can, which I believe is just one. Anyways.
It was Boomer Sooner 129 says there's a chance Mateer goes or attempts to go to the NFL due to less than stellar QB class. True. Although I would make the argument that you should go if you're Mateer who just needs to. He has a lot of development that he needs to do. He didn't play quarterback in high school till senior year.
I would agree if they didn't get paid now.
Right. Well, on top of that, though, remember who the best quarterbacks are and where they go, usually. It's not the guys that go number one overall. It's very rare that a number one overall quarterback becomes the guy in the NFL. You saw it maybe with Peyton Manning, or Peyton Manning was one of the top. If he wasn't number one overall. I'm pretty sure he was. Peyton Manning, by the way, guess how many interceptions he threw his rookie year in the NFL?
I have no idea.
Set the rookie record with 26 INTs.
Jeez.
One of the worst rookie seasons of all time. People wanted Peyton Manning fired. Believe it or not, he improved and became
Peyton Manning,
one of the greatest to ever play. Set the record. It was like 26, 25,
Why do
something
you
like
know that?
Because it's Peyton Manning.
Okay, I forgot. You're
awesome.
Big Manning guy.
Yep. But no, I was just saying, the last thing I'll say, if you look at where Mahomes went, I think you benefit from not being the guy your first year in the NFL. Yeah. If you go during a weaker class, he's going to go to a team that needs more production from the quarterback. He's not ready to give them that kind of production, and he's going to hinder his long-term success by having to do so much early on that he can't just sit back and say, I'm going to learn the offense, learn the NFL, learn to be a professional and improve my just technique and abilities. Yeah, there you go. And I don't know. I think you benefit more from being what Mahomes did, getting drafted by Kansas City late, Jalen Hurts drafted late, guys like that, than you do with Baker being overall. Even Joe Burrow, as good as he is, he has more sacks now than he's my 7-on-7 snapper at the Peyton Manning Passing Academy. Andrew Luck retired because he took so many hits and he was worried about his mental health. Ugh. He retired like in his prime. Joe Burrow has already surpassed it in 2 less years.
That's insane.
And because and guess what? The Bengals brilliant front office said, "Let's go get more." Yeah, Cincinnati.
I say Bengals.
Bengals. Guess what? Their brilliant front office did about as brilliant as the Green Bay Packers.
Sorry,
when they had
speech path.
Okay.
Sorry.
When they had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers needed a lineman, needed a receiver. They drafted Jordan Love, a quarterback. The Bengals needed an offensive lineman, needed all this. They don't even draft an offensive lineman. And they just say, well, Joe Burrow's tough. He can get over. Anyways, I don't know. You go to teams that need quarterbacks. It's bad.
Do you say Bengals or Bengals?
Cincinnati Bengals. I think I say both. I don't know.
Just interesting. Sorry.
But that is...
My bad.
That is what I'm thinking.
My thing, too, is just like, to me, that would make sense if they didn't make money in college, too. Like, if you're just wanting to get drafted as high as you can, because isn't the higher you draft, the more money you make? Or guaranteed?
Yeah, but it's capped now. They don't,
Okay, but like theoretically.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, but now he can make more or just as much coming back. So to me, it doesn't really matter so much, but I don't think he's ready.
No, he's not ready to play in the NFL.
What am I? I'm just a girl who didn't play football.
He's not.
But if I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot he's got to do.
And if he does, I guess good luck to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he'd be making a mistake, but it is what it is. Let's get to the moment of the show everyone waits for every week. Zeno Zone.
Zeno is now 51-31 on the year.
There we go. Boom. I'm almost out. And 3, 2, almost burped. Boom. Couple of
I don't know.
There we go. I forgot I got to highlight that part.
No, he definitely didn't like what he saw against JMU, I guess.
Very true.
He thought they gave up a lot of points. Maybe he thinks Texas Tech can get it done. I think I would go with Oregon personally, just because Texas Tech's offense to me is not super great. But alas, I didn't think JMU's was going to be able to score 34, and they did. So
yeah, that was kind of shocking.
He decided that Ole Miss, never underestimate a PO'd ex-wife. So that's where he's at with there. I really thought he was going to pick Indiana the way he was staring at it. And then he just goes for Bama, man. So I don't know. I'm torn between who I want to win that game. I have no ill will at all towards Indiana. Yeah. Actually find myself rooting for them. Also, we have friends. Shout out Eben and Allie from Indiana. So it's like I want to see my friends like that happy. I think Indiana as a whole is a team that I would like to see continue because, you get tired of seeing the same teams in it. But at the same time, if Bama goes on a run, it just shows how flippin' close we were and how we should have, continued that there. Also because we got a lot of Big Ten people that are like, blah, 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 Big Ten's winning their bowls and SEC's not. Again, nobody cares. People are opting out. It's really not I don't know. Like we've mentioned, bowls, unless you're in the playoff, are meaningless. But I guess, hold your water, whatever. And then who am I missing? Ole Miss. And then Ohio State. I think Zeno's just a closet Ohio State fan because he went on a heater last year picking them, and he wasn't impressed with what he saw of Miami. So that one I can't disagree with.
Good pick.
So,
it's not
who do you got?
It's not crazy to pick the team with the most blue chip talent, defending national champions and probably the most talent on both sides of the ball. But what are Texas Tech and Oregon?
Mm-hmm.
Oregon.
Okay. I agree.
Oh man, that is tough though. I don't know. Oregon's just young. Like they have, like their best receiver is DeCorey Moore, true freshman.
And then I'm sorry, I just go to like.
But
I don't like the teams that.
Well, I
can't. You can't hate people for spending money, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't want people that bought their talent to come out of nowhere. But also at the same time, I guess you love a Cinderella story. I think I'd rather see Oregon win, but then it goes back to the whole Big Ten scenario. Yeah,
but I don't listen. This is why This is why people call me Mr. Consistency. I have said I don't care about bowl game wins. I never have. Once the playoff came in, so I get it. It's just water off a duck's back. People bring up the.
So you're going with the Ducks.
There we go. Okay. Oregon. People bring up the bowl records to me. I got to just say, I don't care. Never have, because they're meaningless. Because when you have starters sitting out, they're meaningless.
Right.
But it's fun for I know a lot of people that
so you got Oregon.
Don't get much. Yeah,
Oregon. I think you already chose Ohio State over Miami.
Over Miami, yeah, Ohio State over Miami.
Ole Miss, Georgia.
Ole Miss, Georgia. Give me Georgia.
Okay.
By the way, Georgia, youngest team in the SEC in terms of average age of starter.
Also,
Oklahoma was up there
on
too.
All cylinders. They do look.
They look unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's like, oh yeah, that's Georgia.
I said unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Whatever.
Yeah, they're clicking. You're just like, they're good.
Yeah. And then Indiana, Alabama.
So I would think Indiana.
Oh.
I think I don't know. I really want to see Indiana be able to consistently play physical football.
They also lost their best defender
against. Yeah, true. Against teams that the problem is I don't think Alabama's offensive line's that good.
That's fair.
And I think that Indiana got exposed. Exposed is a strong word because they still won the game. But I do think they're a better team than Ohio. I think Ohio State would beat them in a game if they were to rematch. But and Alabama just struggles so much on offense. Give me Alabama. For whatever reason in my mind, I just think Alabama's going to win. I think that they have a ton of talent. They're going to have a couple of guys coming back that didn't play even at Oklahoma. So I'll take them. Maybe they can learn to run the ball, and it is what it is. They also seem to have found their niche with unbelievable wide receivers again, even though Ryan Williams isn't the one. Shocking.
Crazy.
But other than that, should be a fun week to watch some football, some big games. Hopefully y'all enjoy your new year. Hopefully you had a great Christmas.
Don't sign out yet.
We have we have an interview announcement, 2 of them.
Yes, we have 2 weeks of fantastic interviews lined up for you guys. First and foremost, on January 5th, which will be next Monday, we have Peyton Verhulst from the Oklahoma women's basketball team joining us. She'll be interviewing with us. I'm so excited as they get started into the conference play. A lot of really good teams and games coming up. So really looking forward to hearing from her. She's a dynamic player, and she's so fun to watch. We hope that you will join us then while she comes on. The week after that, we have one of the queens of Oklahoma. We have KJ Kindler herself coming on to our show and interviewing as well. Their season is also going to kick off on January 22nd or 23rd. It's Friday. Their season will be kicking off in Norman. They'll already have 2 meets, but their home season will be kicking off. So she's going to join us, talk about
head coach of the defending women's national championship gymnastics team.
Yes, and several natties under her belt. So that would be another really fun.
Boom.
Is that the signed one?
Oh, look, they can kind of see. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is a signed one.
They sent this to me directly, or to T and I, or maybe we saw them at a softball game before the started and they signed it for us. Oh no.
Anyways, so we will be having one of the queens herself joining us. So we're very excited about those 2 interviews.
Boy, that's a tough interviews. Let's move on quickly.
Interviews with Peyton Verhulst next week, and then next week, and then KJ Kindler joining us the week after that on January the 12th. So we hope if you're seeing this, they will be joining us. So again, we will have Peyton Verhulst January 5th joining us for an interview. And following that, on January the 12th, we'll have KJ Kindler joining us on our show. So we hope that you come back then, because it should be a lot of fun.
Boom. And I want to thank Tierney for setting up those interviews. She did the work on that, and just proud of her for setting all that up like a pro does. Y'all rock. As we always say, reach out to your loved ones if you can. Always a blessing to be able to do that. Prayers that you guys stay safe on New Year's Eve. Have a great New Year's Day.
And we'll see you next year.
And we will see you literally next year. Awesome. Y'all rock.